Warning, the following live stream is likely to contain blood, strobe lights, dark spaces, jump scares, and many, many technical difficulties. Viewer discretion and patience is advised.
To check the show out, to give you an idea of just how crowded it is here right now. There is just a flood of people in here right now. So there's barely room to move right now. Basically, we're just going to wait here, let the music play, bring in the sounds of Halloween. I'm really excited to check out this year's edition of Blood Rain. I've heard that the Queen has been usurped, basically. They brought back one of their classic monsters for this show this year, so I'm excited to see for myself. And then when the show ends, immediately following the show is another show, a brand new show called Terror Rising. So I'm excited to check out that new show as well. But for now, the stream is probably going to be very full of copyright music, so might as well just let it play out. Just enjoy the music until the show starts. Jen is here with me today, but she is probably currently going through the trick-or-treat haunted house, so she'll be with me eventually whenever she gets through that house and gets back to me. That house is about half the park away, so even once she's through it, it's going to take her a minute to get back here, and then she probably won't be able to get through this crowd of people that's surrounding me anyway, so yeah, I probably won't see her until after the Blood Rain show is over. But that's okay, we'll find each other. So because we're live, I can see any chat that you enter on YouTube. So if you feel like chatting with me, feel free to leave some comments. I'll try to respond to them. I'll let you know now, I won't be responding to any comments while shows are going on, but once the shows are over, I'll respond. And as we're walking around the park, I'll respond as well. So yeah, feel free to comment if you have anything you want to say. Everybody tuning in, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it a lot. Hopefully the audio is okay. I know this music is very loud. I hope the microphone's picking up everything well. They've got that drum kit back there for the Terror Rising show. So it's definitely some sort of rock performance. Looking forward to hearing that. looking at less than 10 minutes until the start of Blood Rain. I like how every Cedar Fair haunt has a different name for their opening ceremony and different names for their other shows here. There's not a lot of duplicating in terms of the style of show that they have at the different parks. For example, we were just at Dorney Park. Their opening ceremony was just known as the opening Scarousel. And now, of course, Blood Rain here. You can tell it's getting close to Halloween. This crowd is just bonkers. I really like the decorations they put at the top of Grain and Grill there, though. The spider web in a little, I guess, wreath. Also, I should mention that I'm experimenting with some new streaming software, so if there are any technical difficulties, I apologize in advance. Let me know if you see some technical difficulties going on here on the stream. I'll try to fix them as best I can. They started pumping in this loud music. I thought the show was going to start a little bit early, but now they're just playing loud music for the sake of playing loud music. Got 7 more minutes, assuming they start right on time. Really like the stage setup here with the old architecture, the crumbling architecture back behind the drums. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the new Catacombs Scare Zone, which is actually right behind where I'm standing right now. We'll look at that a little bit later. If you've never been to King's Dominion before, as soon as you enter the park, you come to a big fountain that stretches all along International Street, which is where I am right now. And at the opposite end of that fountain from the entrance is this stage. So I'm pretty near the park entrance right now, if you're wondering. But just on the opposite end of the fountain, which, of course, because it's extremely cold out today, is not running right now. Has anybody watching this been to King's Dominion's haunt and or seen the Blood Rain show previously?
Hear ye, Her Royal His Queen Majesty welcomes you. In just a few moments, terror will fill the realm. The gates to our Queen's dominion are opening soon.
Just a few minutes, here we go. Though, like I mentioned earlier, I heard that the Queen wasn't back this year, but I guess we'll see. I hope the audio is okay on this. I did a test before it started, so hopefully it sounds fine. The volume out here wasn't nearly what it is now when I tested, though, so that might make a big difference.
He's like 6'5".
Surprised there aren't more glowy things in the crowd. A couple little light up swords and a couple of necklaces. The Nobu necklaces mainly, but that's really the only glowy stuff here. Just about a minute until the show starts. Countdown has begun. I wish they had some scare actors mingling with the crowd. That would make this a lot more fun if they did that.
And her dominion has grown plentifully. She feels her powers are better used elsewhere. But let it not be said your queen has abandoned you. She resurrects an old foe to bring your nightmares to life. Presenting the Overlord.
out for that. That was cool that the scare act just went right by where we were standing. Scared everybody around me. They were all backed into me all at once, but that was still fun. So now I'm assuming that Jen is done with the trick-or-treat house by now, so we'll have to wait for Jen to find me. Hopefully she's watching the stream.
Hold my hand. Hold my hand.
So once the show starts, we'll stay here for about maybe 2 songs, see how it's going. If it ends up being really good, then we'll stay here and keep watching it. If it ends up not being so great, we'll move on and look at some other stuff.
Oh, but if he jumps on me, I'm not I'm just trying to say this, like I said, Carol. This is not your fault.
So the Queen really is gone this year. The Overlord is back. I was excited to see the Overlord make his way back into King's Dominion. Seems like each of the Cedar Fair parks has a different icon hosting their haunts, which is really cool. Gives you a good reason to go to the different ones. There's Jen. I had a feeling she would be able to find me. Did you make it through the trick-or-treat haunted house? That's good. So it wasn't a big waste of time you going halfway across the park to get to it? Did they make any changes this year to the house? That's good. So if you haven't heard, they started off this haunt season charging people to go into King's Dominion's haunted houses. They recently went back on that, and King's Dominion's haunted houses are now free to enter if you don't have the express pass. So Jen was able to go through, but because they were charging at the start of the Halloween season, I'm glad to hear that they did make changes to the houses. At least it makes it a little bit worth paying that extra money to go through them. So we're just waiting for the Terror Rising show to start, which should be starting in 7 minutes. So we'll just hang around here. Planning on staying here for about 2 songs, see if the 2 songs are good enough to be worth staying for more. We'll figure it out from there. We'll play it by ear. Then we'll head toward Cornstalkers, which actually now that Haunts has officially started for the day, they already have a sign over here showing the Cornstalkers line is already all the way back here toward the Green and Grill. That is crazy. That one is the first one you come to when you come in the park, so it's really not a surprise that line's getting so long, but that's got to be already an hour wait, unless they haven't opened the main part of the queue yet. Yeah, like like I figured, Jen wasn't able to get by to find me during the opening ceremony of the Blood Rain show, so that's why she didn't show up until after the show was over. She said she bowed to the Overlord. So you got to see the Blood Rain show though, Jen? Jen can't hear me over the loud music here. Too bad you couldn't have gotten Cornstalkers out of the way. It's already a huge line.
I was like, if he's telling the truth, I get it.
I hope the audio is okay on this stream.
Right? Only if it's true.
So if you're just tuning in, since we are live, if you want to put some comments in the chat, I'll be able to read them and I can respond. So while the terrorizing show is going on, I won't be responding to any comments just for the sake of paying attention to the show. But once the show is over, I'll respond to anything that you may have to say that was mentioned during the show. About, I'd say 2 hours ago, we did see the terrorizing band warming up, tuning their instruments, so that was kind of cool. I guess it's sort of a mini preview of what's to come, but I still don't entirely know what to expect. Is there more of a show aspect, or is it just them playing songs? I guess we'll see shortly. One of the scare zones here, the Carnival scare zone, I'm getting my haunts mixed up. The Cleaver Brothers Carnival scare zone has another show that we're going to try to catch, a burlesque show. So we'll check that out. Hopefully we'll be there during the right time to catch it. Oh, here comes the band. So yeah, it's really just the three shows. The Blood Rain show that kicks off the event, the Terrorizing show, which has 4 show times. We're just catching this particular one at 7:15 because it's convenient, we're already here. And then the Burlesque show over in the Cleaver Brothers Carnival area. We'll get into more about the haunt event itself as we're walking around the park, which will begin right after we're done with the show. Okay, Jen's giving me the show times for the burlesque show known as the Black Widow Burlesque. They have 7:15, 8:15, 10:15, and 11:15. So 15 past almost every hour, so we should be able to catch one of those. Should be a fun show. We actually caught it the last couple of years. We have vlogs that include the burlesque show if you want to check it out. All right, and in addition addition to the 7:15 Terror Rising show, they have 8:30, 10:30, and 11:30 shows. So they're a little more spread out for that show. All right, the drummer. Oh, 7:15 on the dot. Perfect. So that again was Terrorizing, the brand new show here. Before that, kicking off the stream was Blood Rain. They had those two shows basically right back to back. And I was very caught off guard by that show. That was not what I was expecting out of that show. But it was fun. Even if I had wanted to leave early, I was kind of trapped in there by the crowd, so I needed to watch that entire show, but that show ended up actually being really entertaining. Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting out of that, but it wasn't that. But anyway, let's start, now that we've seen those two shows, let's start taking a walking tour around King's Dominion Hall. Starting with some nice scenery here, right next to the stage, and a coffin behind some bars. This area, International Street, is what this entrance area is called if you've never been to King's Dominion. They have taken some of the props that were in the former scare zone. Oh, by the way, yeah, the Cornstalkers line is all the way here. The end of the Cornstalkers line is all the way back here, going all the way down and around the corner here. But anyway, they have taken props that were from the previous scare zone known as Uprising. That was where the brand new scare zone is now that we'll look at later, and put them along International Street like this one. But yeah, the line for Cornstalkers continues. We are actually walking toward the front of the park. The stage that we were just at was a little deeper into the park. Have to pass this haunted house to get to that stage, and because this haunted house is so close to the front of the park, that's why this line gets so terrible. But yeah, basically straight over here is the entrance to Cornstalkers. They put, at the start of this season, the 2025 season, they put in this beer garden right here, pretzels and beer. And when they put in this beer garden, they put in a little outdoor seating area, really tiny seating area over here that sort of blocks the Cornstalkers entrance. So I was wondering at the start of the year how people were going to get the Cornstalkers. Well, we have our answer now. They just fold half of the wall away, and then there we go. Cornstalkers right behind that wall. And I'm guessing it's probably at least an hour wait. And I'd like to take a look at the sign, but there's kind of a lot of people there. The line goes right next to it now, so can't really get a great look at the sign, but it's over there. So yeah, I'm going to move on just because the crowd is really terrible right now. Hopefully I can get another look at it later tonight at the end of the stream. The line may have died down by then. As soon as Jen catches up to me, we can move on. And next thing I'm going to do, the next thing you'll come to as you make your way through the park, is the brand new Catacombs scare zone. So I'm going to walk through that, see if any scare actors are attracted to this camera. Wanted to mention again, since we are live, you can leave some comments down in the chat and I'll read them and try to respond to them if you feel so inclined. Jen, do you want to go the other way toward the Catacombs, or do you want to keep walking this way? Oh, that's right, she wants to take a look. She reminded me we need to take a look at the big haunt sign at the front of the park. Okay, so we'll check that out and then we'll make our way toward the new scare zone. They have all these haunt flags. I'm not sure if it's coming out well on the camera because of the low light, but they have haunt flags up on most of the storefronts. Yeah, this here was something that was part of the Uprising scare zone from last year and other years previous. Good spots for scare actors to hide. I'm kind of surprised they don't turn this into a little mini scare zone using those props. We were actually at the park right at the beginning of Haunt, but we didn't stay for Haunt. We only came here for Oktoberfest. But even while we were here for that brief period, they've added things since that time. This decor here, great, I guess, cemetery gate decor over here for a good photo op in front of the Halloween haunt sign. Always love this sign. They actually have it lighting up, which is great since you're only seeing it at nighttime anyway. Actually, I guess there's a light shining on it. I thought it was backlit, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't think that's backlit. I think there's a light shining on it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that's backlit? I can't really tell. But anyway, I really like that they added some gargoyles and some gates and stuff here. Since this is a photo op spot, I don't want to linger on it too long, but just wanted to point it out because it's really awesome. So now let's make our way back the way we came, and we'll check out the new scare zone. Problem with being at the front of the park is that there is a ton of people over here. Also, while we're in the area, the Funnel Cake Kitchen right here has a special haunt food item, the Bloody Nightmare Funnel Cake, which we'll see later on at another restaurant in the park. So as we make our way down International Street, some more decorations. They have a bunch of white pumpkins. Down behind these tables, they have an angel statue. Over here, kind of hard to see. The lighting's not great in this area, but they have this cool photo op here in front of Dominator, which, again, this was another set piece from the Uprising Scare Zone. The structure was, the hearse was not. It's they just had that by itself in years past for a photo op. Now they put them both together, which is actually a really good idea. They look great together. Oh, it is so crowded today. As we're getting close to Halloween, it's drawing all the crowds, and also the fact that they made the haunt event free now after it started off being a charge. Then now the haunt event is free to go through the houses. That just drew such a large crowd of people. If they had continued to charge for the houses, I'm thinking the crowds would have been a lot thinner, but yeah, they're all here now. Yeah, I just really like that photo op right there. Thanks for the comment. It's good to know that the comments are coming through and I can read them and respond. So yeah, any other comments that you want to give, feel free. It's just great walking through here. The music, a little bit of fog, not a whole lot of fog. They have some haunt merchandise in the King's Collection shop on International Street. Not really going to spend a lot of time on that. The main focus here is checking out the scare zones and the houses, but just wanted to show they do have some haunt merchandise. Depending on how long it takes us to make it around the park and look at the haunts and scare zones, we may stop in at a store or two for a more thorough look at the merchandise. Coming up on the Eiffel Tower has Big red spooky eyes up at the top there. The whole thing's lit up red. And the Eiffel Tower is open now, which is exciting because the Eiffel Tower was down for the longest time. I'm glad they got it fixed. If you're interested, they have a haunt map. All of the haunts in the Cedar Fair family are presented by Snickers, of course, and all the Mars candy. So they have the 3 shows that we mentioned earlier, 5 scare zones, the new Catacombs, Pumpkin Eater, Masquerade, Cleaver Brothers Carnival, and Site X. They also have 6 haunted houses. They have Cornstalkers, which we saw earlier, Monster Con, Grimmwoods, Blood on the Bayou, Trick or Treat, and F.E.A.R. So we're going to be taking a look at all of them. You can see the houses are very spread out. The yellow skulls are the houses spread throughout the park, and then the red cleavers are the scare zones. Okay, so now that we've had a look at the map, let's make our way around. This is a really dark area of the park. They could use another light or 2 around here. Even if it was, you know, a red light, something, you know, not yellow or orange, even still, any kind of light would help back there. It's really dark in that spot. So this way is Planet Snoopy, which of course doesn't have any kind of haunt stuff in it. It did have the Tricks and Treats family-friendly event during the daytime hours. But nothing for us here tonight. Planet Snoopy, all of the attractions are closed currently. Trying to get most of the kids out of the park, even though there's still a ton of kids here. Oh, there's not enough light. Jen's dancing to the music, but there's not enough light to show it. So we're now on the opposite side of the Eiffel Tower from where the stage was. There is a fork over here. Right here is the new Catacombs scare zone. Right around there is the Pumpkin Eater scare zone, so you can make your choice. Go through either one. We're going, because it's brand new, we're going to go through the Catacombs scare zone right now. See if we can get spooked. actually have a sign out this side now. They did not have a sign this way when we were here earlier. So it's good to see that no matter which way you go, you get the name of the scare zone. Didn't really see as many scare actors in there as I had hoped, so I'm gonna go back the other way through it. Hopefully we'll run into other scare actors, but from there we're going to swing around and go through the pumpkin eater scare zone as well. A lot of great hiding places in here. I'm kind of surprised there aren't more scare actors hiding in here. So yeah, that was the Catacombs scare zone. Probably some bad luck on our part today, a little late on the scare actors, but Jen did get a good scare or two going through there the second time, so that was always good. That's always good to see. So now that we've been through the brand new scare zone, let's make our way around to Pumpkin Eater. Pumpkin Eater is a I don't know, I guess a scarecrowy, pumpkin-y type scare zone. I don't really want to call it that because they already have Cornstalkers here, which is the same sort of thing, and this is a little bit different, but I guess it's kind of in the same vein. But we'll take a look if you've never seen Pumpkin Eater before. Yeah, that was pretty spooky though. I do wish there were more scare actors in there. I don't think that one was really meant to be super scary though. It seemed like it was more like a dance party sort of deal. Oh, and actually, before we even get to the Pumpkin Eater scare zone, this is our second haunted house over here, right next to the Pumpkin Eater scare zone. This is the Monster Con haunted house, which just debuted last year, and there is a crazy line to get into this one right now. They really make it look like a convention. Have big banners up here. Never before seen movie sets, film props, costumes. Shop our frightful horror vendors. Meet the monsters from your favorite horror movies and get autographs and photos. So just to give you an idea of what that is, if you've ever been to a convention of any kind, whether it's horror-based or otherwise, you'll probably appreciate the theming of this one. They actually do have you at one point go through basically like a vendor dealer floor type area. You can go buy a bunch of booths, quote unquote selling things. You can't legitimately buy anything in there, but it looks like what you would see at a convention with a bunch of monsters in there jumping out and scaring you. It's really fun. It's a fun concept. Never seen anything like that at any other parks. But then, yeah, right next to it is the entrance to the Pumpkin Eater Scare Zone. Always enjoy the stall. They have it flashing red this year for some reason. Completely oblivious to the scare actor.
That's a horse. That's a Hey, I got you now.
Everybody can be full.
Can I spill your guts?
No.
What? We gotta feed the farm animals. Please.
No.
We're hungry.
No. That's okay.
Well, right in the face. Look what he did. What did he do? Mine. That's for yours. Oh my God. Yes. Here we go. What are you trying, little buddy?
We're not scary.
Oops, excuse me, sir. Another big photo op here, technically outside of the scare zone. This giant pumpkin carriage with a giant skeleton at the forefront of it, and a skeletal horse. If you saw our thumbnail for the video, you probably noticed this before. That's exactly the same as it was last year.
Somebody watch me in the front.
I just want to see a skeleton.
We usually don't come here this close to Halloween, so we're not used to seeing it this crowded. It's always a little crowded, but wow, this is mind-blowing. This is the line for Grimmwoods. They actually have it going through the fence over here, which I've never seen that before. Usually the entrance to Grimmwoods is through the gift shop over here that we're about to reach, where you would go through to get to the Grizzly coaster. It actually goes through that fence and then out this fence and around past the arcade machines, and then it goes into the gift shop. Really like the facade of Grimmwoods. They have these creepy trees out here. Wish they were better lit, but they are a lot of fun. And if you're wondering why we aren't walking into one of these houses other than the line length, that's because King's Dominion does not allow recording of the houses. It's kind of a shame, really, but we can still check out the scare zones, so that's what we're doing. And they have these 4 trees that they keep bringing back. I really love these trees. But yeah, ridiculous line. So now that brings us to a really quick but really fun scare zone known as Masquerade. It's just in this, they have this little foliagey archway here, and they put a scare zone in here. They've got a brand new sign for this area this year, much bigger sign.
I like fast food, so stop running.
So yeah, like I said, it's a very short area, but really well done. There were a lot of scare actors in there this year. Quite the contrast from the Catacombs. So now crossing through Masquerade puts us out near the Carousel, and there is a really cool feature to the Carousel this year that they haven't done before, or if they've done it before, they haven't done it recently since we've been coming to haunt. Don't know if you can tell from back here what's going on. I'll get a little bit closer. Yes, you're saying this correctly. The Carousel is going backwards right now. It's really fun. We rode it this way earlier today. It's a really strange feeling, and it's fun to watch. It is now known as the Cleaver Brothers Scarousel. Nice big creepy clown there. And to commemorate the event, they hired a brand new ticket taker. I named him Bob. That's Jen's favorite, clowns. Okay, so from here there are a couple of different ways that we could go. I think the best way is to go, just to orient you if you know your way around this park. Candy Apple Grove is to the left, Ferris wheel is to the right. I think the best way to go is toward the Ferris wheel. There is one haunted house that's kind of at a dead end over this way, so we'll go check this one out and then turn around and go toward Candy Apple Grove. Oh, don't be grossed out by Bob. Bob's not that bad. He's just trying to do his job, taking tickets for the Carousel. Oh, and by the way, the Grove Bar is open. The line is, like everything else in here, the line is gigantic. They have special menu items, but their special alcoholic menu items are the same as most of the other bars in the park. So if you've seen one menu, you've seen them all. We'll take a look at one of their menus in a little bit if we can find one that doesn't have quite as many people around it. Going this direction, we're going through what during the daytime is the Oktoberfest festivities. We checked those out last time we were here. Looks very different at night.
I'm glad I wrote that.
You guys just want
So one thing I noticed, they definitely do not have enough lighting here. It is very dark. The Oktoberfest paint by number wall, they didn't get it done today. Made some progress, but it's still, there's still some spaces left on it. But as we come to the Twistin' Shop, which is right in front of Twisted Timbers, the RMC coaster, and then the Jukebox Diner. And over here is the Wind Seeker, just for some actual light. This long line that is surrounding the Wind Seeker is for the Blood on the Bayou haunted house. And it goes all the way back there, That's not quite as long as the Grimmwoods line, but it's pretty bad. The interesting feature about this, at least in years past, I'm not sure if they're still doing it this year, but in years past they had a feature where after you cross through the doorway in the facade, you would go and they would take your picture, and you had the opportunity when you leave the house to purchase that picture. Not sure if they're still doing it this year. That really slows down the line. It's kind of a problem, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
This is the fast lane, so people might come through.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be on it.
Alright, so going to turn away because that spot is where you would go if you have the express pass. So don't want to be in people's way. Just wanted to show that was where the facade was for Blood on the Bayou. We saw another Blood on the Bayou at Dorney Park. We honestly prefer that one to this one, but this one's still a lot of fun. It's just, I don't know, the set decorations in the other one at Dorney Park I feel like are a lot better. But yeah, that house is here at this dead end. So now we'll turn around and head toward Candy Apple Grove. A few things to look at in that general area. Oh, look at that. Even though he is not actually at this park, King's Dominion sells F.E.A.R merchandise. Though it doesn't actually say F.E.A.R here, but that's F.E.A.R all right. And they use the Halloween Haunted King's Dominion logo on there. That's really funny that they still use F.E.A.R on their merchandise. They have the Cinema Slasher merchandise at Dorney Park and King's Dominion, probably a bunch of other Cedar Fair parks. Halloween Haunted King's Dominion, creepy vibes. So yeah, duplicating the merchandise from other Cedar Fair parks here. But anyway, now that I got distracted by F.E.A.R, let's get moving. Closer look at the paint by number wall over here.
What?
Oh, almost ran into this table. I have to pay attention to where I'm walking. This was the site of the Stein holding contest that I participated in this year, and Jen's sausage eating contest that she participated in during Oktoberfest.
All these
So as we get into Candy Apple Grove, well actually right before you get into Candy Apple Grove proper, they have a haunted house right basically in the shadow of the Ferris wheel. The Americana, to be specific. Imported from Geauga Lake, which is a park that Jen regrets not having the opportunity to visit. Actually, I kind of do too, but not as much as Jen does. So yeah, a remnant of the late Geauga Lake. But here, there's arcade over here. Right past the arcade is the next haunted house. Person here holding up a sign for the end of the line for trick or treat.
Where you will bear witness to terrifying sights that will haunt you till the day of time. Behold the circus company.
Okay. We're going to take a pause on the haunted house. Haunted house is over here. We'll look at it more thoroughly in a bit, but the burlesque show is starting, so we want to try to make it over to it. We're actually right by it right now if we can get by this crowd of people. So we're going to go check out the burlesque show, and then we'll pick up where we left off.
You just said this.
We're probably about to get spooked a bunch, but that's the price you pay to get to a show. There's a lot to look at over here. We'll most definitely look at it, but I want to get to this show before it's too late. was the Black Widow Burlesque. Good show as usual. Happened to run into Steeler Wayne here today. If you're not familiar with his channel, I'll link it down in the description of this video once it's live, once it's posted. So hi Wayne, good to see you.
Come on everybody, what's up?
Got the lantern,
Yeah,
reacting to the show.
we're showing various things all around the park that I'm finding out. There's little places where you wave the lantern and it activates certain animatronics, certain effects and things like that.
What kind of stuff happens when you activate the lanterns?
Like for instance, there's like one of the fortune tellers that's like this, and when you get the lantern close to a certain point, it starts
that's
doing this.
cool.
Over at the trick or treat facade, there's one where if you wave it at a certain place, it'll activate one of the effects in the windows.
So, I know this is the second version of the lantern. Do you think it's worth the extra money they charge for the second version?
I think for what it does, I think it's a pretty cool concept. I still wish that it would activate effects in the houses themselves like they did last year. I think that would have been cool. But even still, for what it is, like, I mean, it's reacting to the show here, the ceremony that happened up front, various things throughout the park. It's a nice, cool thing to have. Put it in this, it turns into a tag game that you can play with other people in the park.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's pretty cool.
Have you tagged anybody else with that?
Oh, people have run up to me all the time, and when I see it, I just switch it over here.
That's
I
funny.
haven't worn one yet, but it is what it is.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think it's a cool little piece of memorabilia to have with you, and with the little ghost design, something cool for kids.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for showing the lantern.
No problem.
Yeah. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
So, want to head back toward the trick or treat house? Which way are you heading?
This way. Have you guys gone to any houses yet?
No, we've just been looking at them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, been going through all the scare zones though.
Right over here. This is what I was talking about. This little fortune teller right over here. This one is freaking. Let me see if I can still get it to do it.
Oh wow.
This is the worst reading I've ever paid for.
That is creepy. I was not expecting that. This little spot down here. Hold the lantern up to that.
I think it's saying something like it.
So she moves even when you don't have the lantern up there, just not as dramatically. Wow. That is one of the scariest things that's happened to me all night.
There were two little kids that were close to it and sort of like screaming at it, so I did that and got them good. They wound up just taking off running.
That's funny. So before we were interrupted by the Burlesque show, not that that was a bad thing, that was a very enjoyable show. Those performers are awesome. But we were in the middle of something before we took a pause to go check out that show. And that thing that we were in the middle of was looking at probably one of my favorite facades in the park, the Trick or Treat Haunted House, which I think I'll have to walk around this line that has gotten even longer since I was here earlier. And everybody is so tightly packed that I don't want to try to push my way through. So I'll just walk around the line, it's okay. Get a closer look at the facade of the house. Also, it's right out in front of this game booth, the squirt gun game with these fun little ghosts. They have some, we've seen these ghosts before at other games, but they have versions of them that I don't think we've ever seen before. This zombie one and this jack-o'-lantern one. Those are fun little stuffed creatures. But anyway, enough being distracted. The actual trick-or-treat facade, they have a cool little witch up there.
Keep your eye on that window up there.
Oh, okay, let's see. I see what the lantern does. Oh, wow. Oh, I love that they keep adding stuff. That's really cool. That was a cool effect. I'm just gonna have to follow you around all day to see what everything does.
Yeah, I know, right?
I love that you can actually see in the window of the house, kind of. Because the game's behind here, it's kind of hard to see in, but you can kind of see inside the house. They have some open windows over here. They made this room more witchy than in years past. Big trick-or-treat sign in there. They got a broom. The funny thing is they keep this up during, well, back when they did have Winterfest, they would keep this up during Winterfest and change it, make it more holiday friendly, which is funny. I love what they've done with the place. I can't believe that window is a screen. It doesn't even look like it. So we need to make our way through Cleaver Brothers. Are you scared? Alright, we'll see you. Let's see if I can get by this line of people. Excuse me. Thank you. Okay. Alright, off to Cleaver Brothers. Of course, the park has to have a clown scare zone, like all good amusement parks do that do Halloween events. That slider scared the daylights out of me. I have to say, I think this scare zone has some of the creepiest clowns I've ever seen in it. This music doesn't help. The ticket taker looks a bit unhinged. To the fortune teller that Steeler Wayne showed us, the lantern effect. I love that it moves even when there's no lantern there, but it really moves with the lantern. Oh, hey, they put a Madame Vadoma fortune teller logo on here. This wasn't here last year. The cart was here last year for last year's haul, but it didn't say Madame Vadoma on there, which, if you notice, is the name of this fortune teller in this tent over here. Madame Vadoma. Clowns love to sneak up behind you and squeak horns in your ear. smack in the middle of the scare zone. Off in the back here. This little guy in a bucket. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this is. They have him every year. I don't know why. Bottle of liquor just randomly sitting here. And then they have a sign for the Cleaver bar. I like the sign that's attached to the Cleaver bar. Clown around and find out. Different sign on the other side. F.E.A.R fun. Hope that's showing off. It's kind of dark over on that side. But the Cleaver bar that they advertise is actually the Victoria's Garden patio bar over here. Which here we can finally take a look. Most of these are found anywhere they sell alcohol. They have 5 blood bags, transfusion, alien blood, zombie juice, all are alcoholic. And then they have mocktails, vampire's kiss, and pixie potion. They also have these special cocktails. I won't read all of them as there's a lot, but we also have a few mocktails there too. And there's the regular menu prices if you're opting to not get a haunt special. But yeah, you can find these pretty much anywhere they sell alcohol. While we're back here over at the funnel cake place, I will again have to go around a fairly long line, but we can get a better look at the funnel cake that we saw at the front of the park when we were still on International Street, because they sell it here too. Here it is, the Bloody Nightmare funnel cake, topped with strawberries, crumbled red velvet cake, and cream cheese. So you can get it back here in the Cleaver Brothers Carnival, or you can get it on International Street. But anyway, returning to the actual scare zone. There's a little more. There's a lot to look at in this scare zone. It's a pretty extensive one. Jen taking a little rest. Little strobe light warning here for Zoltar. Yeah, he's sort of a palm reader. The palm's dead, misfortunes told, mind bleeding. was here in years past. He definitely was. Love the super tall clowns. The other side of the Cleaver Brothers Carnival. So that's the whole scare zone. Pretty long one. Pretty fun one. Plenty of scare actors. And Jen's beckoning me over here. Oh, I see why. Victoria's Pizza here just outside Cleaver Brothers has a current specialty pizza for Haunt, the Pig Reaper. Unfortunately, it doesn't say exactly what's on this pizza, but by the name, I assume there's at least ham on it. And there is a gigantic line in there. I wonder if we can see what's on the pizza through the window. Probably not. No, I don't see it. I know you can't see these menus, but there's really nothing. They don't describe what's on the Pig Reaper from back here anyway. But it's kind of neat to know that they have a specialty pizza. I didn't realize that Victoria switched up their menu ever. So anyway, as we go by the swings, we have one more scare zone and one more haunted house to take a look at. Then we'll return to International Street, probably wrap up the stream. I should say, I haven't said it enough, but thanks a lot for watching the stream. We appreciate it. And we appreciate comments as well. If you want to put anything in the chat, I've been reading the comments. I appreciate any comments that are left. One thing I wish they would add to Haunt, I wish they would let the mushrooms sing some kind of spooky little song. It doesn't have to be like a terrifying song. It could be like something from Nightmare Before Christmas, maybe something like that, a family-friendly spooky song. I wish they would change up their repertoire just for this time of year. I think that would be kind of fun. And then wow, kid just came running at me and gave me a worse scare than any of the actual scare actors tonight. And the kid was wearing a no-boo necklace too with that. It makes it extra weird. So our last scare zone and our last haunted house are kind of close together. They're a little bit of distance apart, but not like a ridiculous distance. Which way to go first? Let's see. We'll go to the scare zone first because going toward the house takes us closer to the front of the park. So the scare zone is in the Jungle Expedition area, home to the newest coaster in the park, F.E.A.R. But it's not exactly close to F.E.A.R. It's off a little ways, I guess. That's probably smart because they don't want the F.E.A.R. line to interfere with the scare zone. Last year they had the scare zone pretty close to where F.E.A.R. now sits. So I'm glad they moved it a little bit. This area in years past has been really foggy during Haunt, so let's see if this year's the same. At the very least, we can get some good night shots of F.E.A.R.
Is he live?
And let's see, Jungle Expedition is to the right with all the green lights on. Yeah, it used to be around the, what they call the flat rock right here, what I'm standing on. But now it's moved to where a ton of people are currently standing, where F.E.A.R is over here. So like I said, it's nowhere near F.E.A.R now. It's over here a little bit closer to Backlot Stunt Coaster. This is the most crowded I've ever seen this Scare Zone Site X. Years past, it used to be pretty barren, like maybe 2-3 other people that weren't scare actors were in here. Now it is loaded with people because people are drawn to this section of the park thanks to F.E.A.R. Pretty similar decor-wise, they just rearranged everything else.
Over here trying to I can't get out.
So yeah, a couple of different entrances and exits to the area. Overall a pretty small area, but lots of fun. Really great makeup on some of the scare actors in here. Probably some of the best makeup of any of the scare zones. I regret walking in here. Okay, so yeah, that's Site X. I kept getting haunted in there. So now that leaves one thing left. One highlight, I guess I should say. There's obviously more stuff. There's a couple of foods and beverages here and there, nothing like major, but the one thing remaining to look at is the F.E.A.R haunted house, which is right on the outskirts of Planet Snoopy, and Planet Snoopy is pretty close by. We walked right by it to come into the Jungle Expedition area, so we're going to go back the way we came. And I appreciated the scare actors that were kind of drawn to the camera in there. A lot of scare actors here haven't really been interested in interacting. Oh, some great nighttime shots of the coasters. That's a really cool angle. Got some creepy animal sound effects going too. Okay, back the way we came. Out this way is the archway. That's the exit to Jungle Expedition. That's the way we came. And then beyond that, I'm not sure if you can see it yet, a purple and green skeleton, a giant skeleton leads you into Planet Snoopy. I mentioned earlier in the stream, the Planet Snoopy area is closed in terms of the rides, trying to filter the kids and families out of here and keep in mostly just the people who want to be scared, but they do actually have a haunted house in here. In addition, I found this really funny. Right immediately outside of Planet Snoopy is a little pop-up bar. Found that to be really funny that they'd put a bar that close to Planet Snoopy. They have the same selection of blood bags that we saw on the menu that we looked at over in the Cleaver Brothers Carnival. 3 different alcoholic ones and 2 mocktails. And they have the other cocktails that were on the menu over in Cleaver Brothers Carnival. But then just as we cross under the archway that designates Planet Snoopy, you can see another incredibly long line of people over here. This incredibly long line of people is lined up for our final haunted house. I really like the sign for this one. They cut an outline and a fence showing the F.E.A.R logo. This one is all based around all of your greatest fears. They have a bunch of different rooms, each devoted to something that a lot of people are afraid of, such as heights. They have spiders, snakes. They have mirrors in one room, which is the one I'm not a fan of. But it's a really fun house, a really cool concept. All of their houses are really good, and unfortunately the lines are too long for me to go through today, even once the camera's off, so I'm going to miss out. But we've been through previous versions of them before, and they were all great, and if they've improved, like Steeler, Wayne, and Jen have said, then that's a really good sign. Making things better and not worse is always great. Yeah, let's head toward the front of the park now. We've made a lap, checked out all of the houses, all of the scare zones. So just to recap, if you haven't been here before, that's 6 haunted houses, 5 scare zones. Had the chance to walk through all of the scare zones. Those scare actors were really on top of things today. And this line is still the line for F.E.A.R, still going. All of the lines are incredible today. And by incredible, I don't mean incredibly great.
Oh, sorry, man.
It's all right.
Well, no, but if you were to have like a
Even though the Planet Snoopy area is closed, it's still well lit, and the decorations are fun to look at. Especially the giant skeletons. We're approaching the Eiffel Tower again. If you ever get lost in this park, always look for the Eiffel Tower. It'll point you right back toward the front of the park. And this probably doesn't show up on camera, but you can see people up there. That's nice to see that there are people up there. It's been a long time since we've seen that.
Look, okay. You know what? They did us a favor because I already knew we were struggling. Oh, they.
So basically, we've spent our whole day at this park walking around because the crowd was so heavy. We didn't want to wait in any lines for anything. But that's okay because I just enjoy the atmosphere. I especially enjoy the haunt atmosphere. They do a great job of making the whole park feel creepy, even if you're not doing any of the houses. Put your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care. So yeah, here we are, leaving Planet Snoopy brings us right back to the front of the park. Made the full circuit around. Right there's the stage where we started the stream. So it's been quite a night. Right by the Gory Blood Rain sign over here. So let's see. There we go. So that was our look tonight at King's Dominion's Haunt. So if you had the chance to tune in live, thanks a lot for tuning in. If you're watching on replay, thanks for taking the time to watch the replay. Going to have a little bit quicker of an outro today because can't put the information on the screen. Just know we're going to have all our social information in the description. So check the description box if you want to check us out on Instagram, Threads. Of course, you know our YouTube channel here. We'll have our email address down there as well. So thanks a lot for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope you can catch us in the next live stream. I should tell you, I didn't mention this at the beginning, but this was technically a test live stream for something that we're going to be doing next Sunday. So we hope you're able to catch that live stream as well. See you there. Thanks for watching.